Can you imagine a time when there would be no unwanted children in this world? Can you imagine a world where rape no longer existed? Can you imagine a world where there is no war or crime? How can we achieve that? Through kindness. You see, if the world was kind, these problems would go away. They would simply vanish through time. I'm not saying there would never be conflicts. Yes, there will. But they will be solved through peaceful solutions, not through acts of war. You see, kindness is the intelligence of life. Can you imagine how the world would change if every child on earth was treated with kindness? There would be no more bullies on this planet. This world would transform. We would build our societies around the richness of education. Education would be free. It is a birthright. Teachers would be paid extremely well. Currently, in the United States, teachers are one of the least paid professions. This has got to change. Through kindness, our politicians will realize this, and small changes will occur in our education system. Kindness is a vessel where change can come for the benefit of all. The poor districts and the rich districts will have the highest education system for all. This means these terrible schools that are in poor neighborhoods will over time transform into new and innovative ways of teaching. The students would love to come to school and learn. Crime would be virtually non-existent. School shooting would be a thing of the past. Why would you have a gun if war and crime did not exist? Imagine a world like this. As John Lennon once said, "You may see I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one." Yes, this dream may take generations. If we don't talk about it and offer suggestions on how to solve the problems, we will never get anywhere. Kindness is the solution. Today, in America, school shootings are an epidemic. I can't imagine going to school and having to worry that someone may come in with an automatic rifle and start killing people. Millions of the schools today have metal detectors. How can you learn in this environment? No wonder our schools are failing. Some of these schools are outright dangerous. How can a student thrive in this situation? There are thousands of great teachers out there, but unfortunately, they are sailing a boat without a rudder. When the U.S. spends more on defense than the top 12 countries spend, something is wrong. Look at the past. When any great country spends more money on defense than anything else, this was the start of the downfall of the country. History shows us time and time again. It's like playing the same track over and over. Without kindness, we'll be doing the same thing over and over again. Kindness is the glue which holds the entire universe together. As a world, we're doomed if we carry the old baggage of anger and war. So many cities in the United States are like war zones. Murders occur every single day. Children afraid of walking down the streets. Children get shot walking to and from school. Children get shot by random shooters. The bullets were intended for someone else, but unfortunately, they were hit. Where does all this end? Is this normal? We almost take it for granted. If you don't live in these cities, we brush it off. Yet, we all must change. Every person must change. We need a political system to change. We need every system in America to change. If we don't, we will continue to decay. It's strange that kindness is all around. It is everywhere. Inside our DNA lies kindness. Everything you see lies the field of kindness. Behind your breath and thoughts lie kindness. Yet, we are not trained to tap into this field consciously. We all experience kindness at some point or another, yet we don't know how to consciously drink from the cup of kindness moment by moment in life. What would happen if the entire world at large could do this? Going back to our education system, we could totally transform America if our students were well educated. If every student had the education to learn and go to college, our society would change for the better. We can't have our education continue in this manner. Currently, we have administration which gives lip service. Without kindness, we can never change truly. We can make laws, we can try to enforce the laws, but without kindness, we as a nation are at a standstill. Look at the United States today. We are totally divided, us versus them. Gasoline is constantly put on the fire. We have a president who loves that. Look, I'm not Republican or Democrat. Both sides are divided. Both sides are wearing tainted glasses. Both sides are angry and fighting with one another. In this situation, we as a nation is lost. We have forgotten our soul. I remember in the 60s hearing stories about the debates between the two parties. They were heated debates, yet at the end of the day, they could go to a bar and give a toast to each other. They could let bygones be bygones. Currently, both sides of the party hate each other and can't compromise. I'm not saying all members of Congress do this, but let's face it, this is what we see. We are living in a world we can see a way out of the mess we created. We don't see that we all created this mess. Only by pulling our internal weeds can we clean up the mess that we created. Our inside awareness dictates the world around us. If we are angry inside and we see a Facebook post that we don't like, we will flame the post. We will just pass on the anger. We are putting gasoline on the fire. We need to learn how to diffuse the situation by kindness. This is probably the hardest thing to do, yet it's the only way out for our world to continue. It's so easy to be angry. Anybody can do it, but to be kind when someone is shouting in anger at you, it's very difficult. Ponder these words. We are all custom designed by God. Yesterday, I heard an interesting interview with Bruce Lipton. He is a scientist and has a fascinating story to tell. He wasn't interested in God, religion, or anything spiritual. His passion was science and biology. He was studying the structure of cells. One day, he discovered that our cells have antennas embedded on the surface of the cells. We have trillions of cells, and each cell had this antenna. He thought to himself, Mind you, I'm paraphrasing what he said. He asked himself, what are these antennas for? For what purpose do we have for them? In the real world, he thought of a TV set. You have an antenna which receives signals from a broadcast. You can change the channel and a different TV program will appear on the screen. At this point, it gets extremely interesting. Somehow, he has an epiphany that our awareness and consciousness is being broadcast from God or the quantum field. Each one of us has unique signatures. He realized that the body will die, yet our essence is always the same. We can never die. Our essence is eternal. To his amazement, he discovered that God exists inside of us. The treasures exist inside. We are hardwired to discover the universe within. Imagine all this took place within 5 minutes. From that point on, his goal was to discover his true nature. The clues are there in plain sight. Bruce then, as a scientist, began to use the lab within to discover his true nature. In the interview, Bruce said that some Jesuits said that, give me a child for 7 years and I will tell you how the child will grow up. The first 7 years a child will pick up the good, bad, and ugly. A child's brain is theta, which everything external gets sucked in from 0 to 7 years old. This goes directly into our subconscious. Now, imagine that we live our lives 98% of the time from our subconscious. Our subconscious drives our life. This means that our lives are being driven from our early childhood. While pursuing ourselves and discovering our true nature, we live most of our lives driven by our subconscious. We react like leaves blowing in the wind. Our body is so entwined with our subconscious that we react automatically without being aware. Imagine our subconscious is like a hard drive. It has tons of data stored from the ages of 0 to 7. When an event occurs, the subconscious will go instantly to the hard drive and it knows how to react. Notice, we are oblivious to what's going on. This is mankind to a T. We have been fighting for so long. The world is on fire. People flame each other on Facebook. We have a president who tweets whatever comes to his mind. Humanity is on the verge of a major breakthrough. The signs that we were built to discover are all around us. We have all the instruments inside of us to discover our true nature. We are about to go from me to we, which is the title of this book. Imagine every single person on earth is hardwired to discover we all came from the same place. We are all family, regardless of race, color, or creed. Our true nature is kindness. Our true nature is love and compassion. We are all a spark of the divine. We are the universe. We just don't know it. These are exciting times. You hold a piece of the puzzle of life inside of you. You can change and discover your true nature. Millions of people are waking up. Recently, science and religion are really talking about the same thing. Discoveries that Bruce saw are major scientific breakthroughs for all of us. Bruce saw in a flash of light that we are being broadcasted from the quantum field. We have our name that God knows and the universe knows. Every human life is special. With our free choice and free will, we can, moment by moment, be on a conscious journey to discover our true essence. Ponder this over. Let's continue how a human being is hardwired to find God. Many scientists think that a part of our DNA is multidimensional and quantum. We contain the blueprint of God inside of us. From this blueprint, a human being is created. We are created in the image of God. When I was young, I loved to study the great wisdom from India. I still do. The Indians have a theory that everything we do and say is recorded into an energy frequency. This energy frequency can be read in some part of time in the future. There are people who will fine-tune themselves to be able to read the Akashic records from another person. Now recently, many people think that in our DNA, we have a multi-dimensional DNA which contains the blueprint of God. Now imagine in this blueprint contains the entire essence of the universe and the essence of your soul's journey in the universe. You are eternal. You can never die. Your body will. Many people are discovering this concept and learning how to mine the Akashic record for themselves. Can you imagine how incredible that would be? It means that you could stop any diseases coming your way. You would be in tune with God and listen to the wisdom that lies within. You could bring back all the positive attributes you have learned on your magnificent journeys in life. A person could tap into the future and bring back wisdom such as inventions that would help our fellow man. From that state, it would be easy to go from me to we. If we could consciously tap into the oneness and blueprint of the universe. As you can see, the car is sitting in the garage gathering dust. The car is meant to be driven on the freeway of life. Moment by moment, we can drive our car and gather a greater understanding of why we are alive. We spend most of our lives in a survival mode. We spend most of our times living by our habits and subconscious. Imagine we're literally hardwired to discover our true essence. Yet, so many humans are oblivious to this fact. You see, we have free will and free choice. The entire universe lives by this law. At times I think, well, maybe human beings shouldn't have free choice and we would come into this world and never forget our true nature. Peace would always prevail on earth. Anger and war would not exist. Heaven would be on earth. Yet, life is a grand adventure. We come into this world to discover our true nature and to help transform this world from darkness to light. It's a cosmic game. This isn't the first time this game has been played. For time immemorial, this game has been played through the universe and countless other universes. The entire universe is watching us and cheering for us. They are rooting us on. We have incredible coaches that help and assist us. Yet, they can't take a single step for us. You see, each of us has to play the game without any steps taken by another being. These are exciting times. We as humanity is going from me to we for thousands of years because of thinking. It's all about me. We have fought countless wars. We're living in an era where this is changing right before our eyes. Ponder this over. You are hardwired to discover God. You contain within your DNA the blueprint of God. Just got up. It's 2:22 in the morning. I'm pondering the meaning from me to we. It seems like man has been living a dream. for so long. At times it's been a nightmare. At times it's been a beautiful dream. Man has been repeating the same actions for thousands of years. They constantly repeat themselves. Why does man continue to fight wars? Wars have never solved anything, yet they still continue to this day. Each century, our weapons are more sophisticated. Today, we have weapons that can destroy the world 100 times over. Yet, we still are on the lookout to create even more destruction. I love to watch the geese and ducks fly in the sky. My wife and I love it. They fly in incredible formations and can change and morph in many different patterns on the fly. They are in sync with nature. It seems like they are totally united and flying as one. Personally, I think man's problem stems from the fact that we are so identified on me. My nation is better than your nation. My religion is better than yours. I'm going to heaven while you're going to hell. God is on my side and not on your side. It's all me, and me. Currently, we have a president who loves to divide the country. He gets a big kick out of this. His tweets. He tweets whatever comes to his mind. He has no ethics whatsoever. You see, when you aren't aware of your true nature, you act in ways that aren't in harmony with the universe. For example, why don't we elect leaders that are kind, loving, and compassionate? Some are, yet our political system is in shambles. We are totally divided. Our political system is at a standstill. Nothing can get done. Blame is put on both sides of the parties. You see, our mentality is us versus them. We have been this way for thousands of years. Emotionally, man has been stagnant for ever so long. Yet we have progressed in technology. Thousands of people have tried to make this world a better place. The spark of the universe lies inside. This book is about how we can transform from me to we. I believe this is our answer. All the great masters talked about this in their beautiful ways. Man thinks that his consciousness only exists in his brain. He has created himself distant from life itself. According to Einstein, E is equals mc squared. Show me then where consciousness does not exist, inside of a flower or a car. The whole universe is alive. Man just thinks he is alone. You are stardust. Hi kids, let's gather around the campfire. Wow, look at the millions of stars in the sky. Did you know that you are stardust? You came from the stars. Here's the kicker. You are the universe. You just don't know it. Your true nature is kindness. Your true nature is love and compassion. This story begins a long time ago. In fact, millions of years ago. Imagine there was a planet much like Earth. They went through the same craziness that man has gone through. War was rampant throughout the land. Quite frankly, people were good.
But the leaders, not so good. They're only interested in power and greed. Yet, your true nature is kindness. Life is like a grand hide-and-seek game. In order for the civilization to truly mature, they must discover the diamond inside. Only by discovering kindness inside will you truly be kind in your life. You can be highly advanced in technology, but if you don't get along with others, you're missing the point in life. Did you know that it takes around 1,000,000 years for an entire civilization to go from darkness to light? That's a long time. Yet in the end, heaven truly comes to earth. Imagine a world where everyone gets along with each other. Imagine being in school and there are no bullies. Nobody will ever pick on you or call you names. This is gone from the culture a long time ago. You see, the kids and adults could literally see the web of all life tying us all together. This web is true love. They had an interesting way to teach one another. They didn't have desks all lined up in rows. The teacher was teaching ahead of the classroom. They taught in nature under a huge tree. There's a huge circle where the kids would sit around. The teacher would slowly teach and walk around the circle. Each day, the kids would move to a different part of the circle, so they would sit beside someone different. This helped prevent cliques. The children loved to learn. They were highly advanced. Can you imagine that every kid knew he was the universe and knew it from experience? She was the sun, moon, and stars walking around in a human body. How would you like to create rainbows in the sky using your hands? Not only that, but each rainbow played an incredible melody. Groups of children would have an orchestra in the sky. We never heard such sweet melody. It's like the universe itself was playing music. In fact, it was. The kids were in tune with the universe. Beethoven would have loved it. Each one of the kids was incredible conductors. Imagine a world where there's no crime, there's no poverty, no lack of food, no illness. You see, once the civilization understands and experiences the laws of the universe, all these problems can be solved. Yes, it takes around 1,000,000 years. Unfortunately, some worlds don't make it. They have a tendency to blow themselves up. You see, we have free will. You can change for the better, or you can destroy yourself. Quite frankly, those are the two options. There's a point where each person decides. Imagine at a certain point your world starts to change dramatically. Slowly, you begin to look transparent, much like Casper the Friendly Ghost. You start to be more multidimensional in nature. You are no longer physical. You have become pure energy in nature. Now the fun comes. Imagine going anywhere in the universe in less than a second. How's that for a cosmic ride? Talk about a roller coaster ride. You and your friends can go anywhere in less than a second. Imagine the entire knowledge of the universe is inside. What does that mean? It means as a kid, you are extremely wise. You are not limited. You don't have to learn your ABCs. You have a PhD from the universe. You are wise beyond belief. This is your true nature. You are wise and kind. You've learned that without kindness, you never can be wise. Nature only gives her secrets when you are kind. Nature is not a bully or mock one another. Here's the kicker. You still are an individual, yet at the same time, you are one with the universe. Now, That's a paradox. Imagine a cosmic soup. It has many different ingredients, yet you can't take out a certain ingredient. We are talking about quantum energy. Boy, Einstein would have loved this. Imagine in his mind he created those theories. How would it be if he had the capability to imagine them in his mind at the same time, practically becoming the experiment? Imagine E equals mc squared. You can go from mass to pure energy and back to mass again. Now, that would be exciting. Inside of you lies the laboratory of life. Imagine all sorts of incredible inventions would be developed. When a civilization lines itself with the universe, all sorts of incredible inventions will happen. You see, nature will trust you. In our present day world, we let the genie out of the bottle. We create nuclear bombs. Now we have a threat that we can destroy the entire world. We don't know how to put the genie back inside the bottle. The only way out of this creation is to find the jewel inside. It's been there the entire time. Remember, you are a piece of the puzzle. Brotherhood, sisterhood of light. No, this is where the story gets exciting. Imagine the universe has a universal order where beings can help one another to go through the transition from darkness to light. They can't walk for you, but they can be incredible coaches along the way. This group has existed for eternity. We think our civilization is old, around 50,000 years, but they've been around for trillions of years. We can't even conceive how long they've been around. Yet this group helps worlds that are in need. They help those who have a desire to have a peaceful world in the end. Isn't it amazing that ancient cultures all around the world said they came from the stars? Many of them said they came from the star-cluster Pleiades. In fact, the famous car manufacturer Subaru named 7 sisters, which is the name of the Pleiades. Her logo has stars, which represents the Pleiades. The Mayans also believed that the origins came from the Pleiades. The Mayans had a complete system of unique calendars which lasted up to 32,000 years ago. Even back then, they knew that the earth wasn't flat, it was round. It wasn't until the 1400s that Western man believed the world was not flat. The Lemurians were an ancient culture that was around for over 50,000 years. The ancient Hawaiians believed that the Pleiades came down and taught them for thousands of years. They came to help mankind to ultimately go from darkness to light. The seeds were planted thousands of years ago. Today, the beginnings of the harvest are taking place. Man is waking up from their slumber. As the story goes, each world helps the other world out in its incredible journey. The people of the Pleiades look like us, yet at the same time, they are the universe. We have a hard time understanding that fact or even believing in that. Remember, you are the universe. You just don't know it. Remember, these wise beings can go anywhere in the universe in less than a second. We send satellites in the sky and they go up to 55,000 miles per hour. Our technology is kindergarten compared to them. These are some advanced worlds that have been around for trillions of years. We are literally new kids on the block. Imagine that your DNA contains the entire history of the universe. We think the internet is incredible. How about the encyclopedia of the entire universe is at your fingertips? This is the journey called life. Such a journey from darkness to light. Signposts of God is all around. We just need the eyes to see. Yes, it takes time. What would be a journey if you took one small step and said, I understand completely this journey of life. You haven't even walked out of your living room, much less driving out of your driveway. This story is mostly for the kids. You have come down to help clean up the mess. You know deep down inside that kindness is the way. The time of being a bully is over for mankind. We need to cooperate with one another. We need to have tolerance towards one another. We need to stop bickering and fighting. We need to listen to each other. We need to discover the jewel inside of us. All the knowledge to solve any problems lie inside of us. Any problem has a solution. Remember, you came from the stars. Carl Sagan once said the following: the nitrogen in our DNA, the calcium in our teeth, the iron in our blood, the carbon in our apple pies were made in the interiors of collapsing stars. We are made of star stuff. Isn't that incredible? How would you like to know your true essence while you're alive? When you die, you go back to the source of life. Can you imagine that the modern day scientist is talking about the same thing the ancients knew about millions of years ago? Could there be a world within worlds? Yet do we have the eyes to see? In Sedona, Arizona lies Bell Rock. You can find seashells on the ground. What if I told you if your eyes were truly open, there's a vast sea of dolphins and whales swimming all around? Maybe heaven is all around us, but is it another dimension? Signposts are all around. Can you imagine signposts all around? But do we have eyes to see? Nature is alive and communicating with each other. We have cell phones in our hands. Magic is all around us, but we can't see it. Imagine the mysteries of life are all around us, but we don't see them. This is the journey of walking from darkness to light. We think we have all the answers, yet we are living in darkness. If we think we are living in the light, then why have we been fighting for thousands of years? Why do we have guns and violence? Why do we have 45 billionaires who have more money than half the population? This is a journey we are walking on. Kids, you have a say in this matter. The torch someday will be passed to you. Someday, you will lead the way. Take a look at the sun in the sky. It just shines. It has nothing to prove. Its rays keep the entire earth alive. Now, that's true magic. It's not a sleight of hand. It's not some magic tricks that appear real, but it's not. It's the real deal. Every step you take over time, you can start to see the signposts all around. You'll begin to see the majesty of the geese and ducks flying in the air. You will love to hear the geese honking in the sky. It will bring a chill down your back. You'll begin to learn to sit on a park bench until we take in the beauty that surrounds you. You can close your eyes and tap into the beauty of nature. Nature is alive. How about not getting bored? You don't need to have your cell phone with you 24 hours a day. Yes, you can still have your cell phone, but it will be different. Imagine looking into your friend's eyes and seeing yourself. Whoever you may encounter, you see a reflection of yourself. How can you harm anyone in that state? There will be no more flaming posts on the internet. No more bullying. No more sexual harassment. This would be a thing of the past. How about no more school shootings? No more wars? No more guns and violence? No more crime? If you think this can happen, then think again. Your civilization is only 50,000 years old. There are worlds out there that have existed before the universe was born. They had to take small baby steps along the way. Ultimately, some succeeded, and they could go out and help others on this journey of life. Help is on the way, yet you have to ask for it. You see, you have free will. That's the law of the universe. The universe is playing a hide-and-seek game with you. This is the game of life. This is the greatest game ever played. It will go on for eternity. So you are a piece of the puzzle. Your piece is super important. Imagine having billions of pieces of the puzzle put together. Yet there's a missing piece. It's yours. Will the puzzle be complete? Now one is missing, and it's yours. You can begin to learn how to be a global citizen of the universe. You can learn how to be kind. You can learn how to have love and compassion for your fellow man. You can learn how to have patience and tolerance. You will once again discover the laws of the universe exist inside of you. You will start pulling all the negative weeds from your garden inside. You can do this. Yours isn't the first one, nor are you the last one to walk from darkness to light. You see, you aren't alone. How would you like to feel that there's a great coach inside of you? You can actually feel it. It's so familiar. It's a part of you. How about a part of you that's already the universe, and a part of you lives in this world? You have the potential to realize this on a daily basis. In the early 1950s, Roger Bannister ran a sub-4 minute mile. Nobody thought it was possible. Months later, the barrier was broken, and even some high schoolers did this. You have the same potential. There is a precious jewel that lies within you. Millions of people are waking up from their slumber. Signpost is all around. Just open up your eyes. The story continues. Fellow wizard's advice. This is a story within a story. We all love Harry Potter. Harry was a simple boy, but he was an incredible wizard. Somehow, he knew how to go inside and tap into the miracles of the faith. But did you know you have the same capabilities? Not turning a stone into a pig, but you can transform yourself from darkness into light. You are a mixture of the two. You can consciously, day by day, become more aware. This story begins in the 4th grade. One day, Ricky, a young boy, wakes up, and he is so excited to be alive, yet his mind is at peace. He has never felt anything quite like this before. For some reason, he is consciously aware of the rhythm of his breath. His breath goes up and down. For some unknown reason, he begins to follow his breath moment by moment. He is astonished by what is happening. The more he is aware of the breath, he notices that something behind his breath is keeping him alive. Over time, he realizes that the entire universe is alive. When he places his mind upon the breath, he feels such a bliss, such a love and compassion for all. He tells his twin brother John about this, and he begins to do the same thing. Over time, he experiences the same unity behind his breath. Mind you, this is the 1950s. It would be considered very odd back then, and probably odd now. Yet, it was simple. No religion or dogma. It's just you are focusing on your breath. You could call it meditation, but people have such weird connotations for the word meditation. For now, this is called focusing and going inward. A few of their friends notices the changes in them. Both twins are sort of reluctant to tell them what has happened. Some of them wanted to know more, while the majority could care less. For those who stuck with it, they noticed the mind is a very powerful thing. You can't quite control it. It is said the mind is the most powerful thing in the universe to control. But over time, by focusing on your breath, the mind slowly gets tamed. It's like taming a dragon that's inside of you. Over time, the dragon becomes your closest friend. Before you ever started focusing on your breath, you had no idea on how powerful the mind is. Slowly, one discovers that they came from the stars. All these children knew that they were stardust. You can't quite pinpoint it, but their intuition was coming alive. These children knew that the universe was kind. The universe was full of love and compassion. The universe was patient and tolerant. You see, behind your breath lies the precious jewel of the universe. They also learned how to weed and garden within. Somehow, by focusing on their breath, they realized they had negative weeds inside of them. Yet they knew they could pull these negative weeds and plant seeds of goodness. These seeds are the universal laws that created the universe and all of creation. Laws like kindness, happiness, compassion, patience, and on and on and on. These precious laws are a natural state of being. Mankind wears tinted glasses. You can't see the signpost that is all around. Now listen carefully. for all the children who have gathered around the campfire. You are the universe. You just don't know it. But you can. With your free will, you can make a conscious decision to discover the jolt within. The kicker is that you can do it and be like the sun and just shine. You don't have to convince or prove it to anybody. Anybody can watch their breath. Yes, it takes practice. It took me about a month to ride a bicycle. My brother just got on one and rode away into the night. Everything you learn took practice. Even learning how to crawl and taking your first steps. There was a learning curve. I know it sounds so simple. It is. This is the greatest hide-and-seek game ever. The universe hides inside of you. Yet you've been told to look outside, not inside of yourself. For thousands of years, man has been looking outside, and what has it accomplished? War and tragedy on earth. If each one of you would put effort into discovering your true nature, this world would change. You see, heaven on earth begins with you. You are the key player. You have an incredible part in the play of life. You are the main character. Your incredible journey is to go from darkness into light. You are the Harry Potters of today. Inside of you lies the great mystery school. The universe is a grand teacher. The more you're in harmony with it, the more wisdom comes your way. You see, darkness can never know the light. Darkness is the absence of light. Go into a dark room, flip the switch, the light appears while the darkness disappears. Darkness and light can't be together. Your true nature is the light. Darkness has been on this land for ever so long. Yet the dawning of man is coming. There's a glorious sunrise taking place. Millions of people are waking up from their slumber. These are simple tools to use. Remember, if your words are going to put gasoline on the fire, don't say it. Our president needs to hear this. Hesitate for just a second before speaking. If you do, over time, you will master what comes out of your mouth. Words of kindness, compassion, patience, and tolerance will be your spoken word. It's not easy, but you can do it. You are a grand wizard, yet you need practice. These are simple guidelines you can take. We are all in the same boat on this journey of life. We either sink or swim together. Harry would be proud if this message of mastering yourself became the norm. He got bullied a lot, yet didn't take revenge. He was innocent and had a heart of gold. He had nothing to prove. Take this to heart. You are incredible. You have infinite talents. You are eternal. You will never die. Your body will, yet your soul will live forever. You will discover your true nature. How would you like to be like the sun, the moon, and the stars, and still be walking around in a human body? You would just laugh and love life. You would be like the sun. You would simply shine. In that state, you have nothing to prove or convince anybody.
Humanity is slowly learning how to go from darkness to light. We are learning how to go from the me mentality to the we mentality. Millions of people are waking up from their slumber. Human nature is about to change quite dramatically. We will look at this present era someday in the future and say, what a dark age it was. Where was humanity coming from? Well, it was a mixture of dark and light. It was predominantly dark. People flame each other. The world is in disarray. I could go on for hours, and still people are waking up from their slumber. A new dawning is occurring. Can you imagine the changes that will occur when we totally transform from me to we? It means that bullies will no longer exist. It means that politicians will be elected by their state of kindness, love, and compassion. A person who tries to run a negative campaign will no longer be elected. We will probably still have a two-party system, but they will truly work together and get things done. We will actually pass laws that are beneficial for all, not just the rich. People will learn how to compromise with each other. When you can see through the eyes of the other person, you can see both sides of the issue. Our whole society will change for the better. Granted, change will be slow, but all beneficial changes are slow. Yet over time, we will see incredible changes that have occurred. We will be most pleased where the world is heading. We will finally take care of the poor and homeless. New ideas will come out that the world will be properly fed. Finally, people will learn how to solve any problems. The solutions are there, and we have to think outside of the box. With man connecting directly to the source within, the answers to many unsolvable problems in the past can now be solved. Many incredible inventions will come out. With the dangers of war now obsolete, invention from the quantum world may come to fruition. These inventions could never occur presently due to the warring nature of man. Humanity will live to a grand old age. Disease will be a thing of the past. Humanity will learn how to be in harmony with nature. Most of the diseases will soon perish from the earth. You see, disease can't live in a being who is full of life. The disease occurs in a being whose body and mind are unhealthy. This will take time, and many adjustments must occur, but this is where humanity is heading. Never before in our history have we seen such an incredible human shift in awareness. Consequently, with this new awareness, this kind of change will occur on this planet. Our daily news will be focused on the new discoveries and positive changes that are occurring around the world. Every day, something new and incredible is happening. The world will be in constant amazement. Society will be amazed how quickly so many of the world's problems will disappear into the night. Religious groups will honor and love each other. Many people will go and visit other religions and enjoy the meal by seeing a different new food of thought being presented. They will see how barbaric it was in the past that religions caused so many wars. Unity and tolerance will prevail throughout the land. This is where humanity is heading towards. Many new ways of thought will occur that we don't have the vision to see or even think about. A huge global transformation will occur. We are on the verge of becoming something so grand and magnificent. It would be a fairy tale-like event, yet it would be real. Ponder this over. We are living in exciting times.
1,000,000 years from now. Wow, mankind did it. They became a kind man. You wouldn't recognize the change in mankind. War is a thing of the past. Gone are the negative emotions of anger, greed, lust for power. Mankind pulled out all the negative weeds once and for all. Remember the slogan, you are the universe. You just don't know it. Well, mankind does now. Signpost of God is all around you. You just don't see it. Well, society and the world at large sees the signpost all around. It's a glorious day in the universe. Mankind has woke up from their slumber. The hide-and-seek game is over. Mankind is united with the universe. You could say the universe and mankind is one and the same. Can you imagine being the sun, moon, and stars walking around in the human body? Disease is a thing of the past. Mankind can clearly live as long as the dragons. Imagine living for 5,000 to 10,000 years. Imagine no more conflict, no more bullies, no more crime, no more poverty, no more throwing garbage in the ocean, no more pollution. Mankind has reached a state to solve any problems. There is no us versus them, no more divisions. Each person is recognized as being different, and yet, at the same time, there is unity. You see, their awareness is one. They can only divide and try to control others. How can you do that when you see through the eyes of everyone? Now that's a sight to behold. You see through your eyes, and at the same time, you see through the eyes of others. It took a long time for this to occur. 2012 was a turning point. Many people on Earth at this time didn't know if humanity was going to blow itself up or not. Many people felt that mankind passed the marker where man would ultimately discover the signpost of life. Life was grand. Can you imagine being the greatest source of life? Mankind was in tune with the Earth Gaia. You could say they were one and the same. Talk about changes. In the 20th century, man had no regard for the land. They polluted the entire earth. They were sawing off the branch they were sitting on. Year by year, man changed their ways. Man became tolerant of each other. Man started to listen to one another. Man became kind. Slowly, slowly, mankind woke up from their slumber. The more man woke up, the more the universe would share its secrets. You see, these secrets could be used for good or bad. The keys aren't just given to just anybody. You have to be in alignment with the universe to receive them. Century by century, mankind evolved. Science and religion merged with one another. Meditation was a common occurrence. Mankind discovered the laboratory within. Mankind started to learn how to be in constant meditation 24 hours a day. Mankind was on an inner and external journey. Over time, mankind knew that they came from the stars. They knew they were stardust. They had recognition where they came from. Imagine thinking you were orphans and meeting your parents for the first time. Well, this happened to humanity. Slowly, slowly, they came to discover where they came from and to once again communicate with their parents. You see, their parents were always there. but they didn't have the eyes to see. You see, even down to their DNA, the Pleiadians were there. They were the ones who seeded mankind, yet they were hidden until we woke up. This is the game of life. When a civilization becomes mature enough and responsible, you help the universe in the grand game of hide and seek. You help the universe to evolve. What a grand game this is. Throughout history, the great masters have come to talk about the hide and seek game. It's only by your free will can you wake up. You are a piece of the puzzle. Well, humanity discovered their piece of the puzzle. The entire puzzle was put together. Granted, it took a very long time, yet for the universe, it's only a blinking of an eye. Can you imagine being one with the quantum energy of love? You can go anywhere in the universe in less than a second. All knowledge will be known. This is how they discovered they were stardust. This is how they discovered their parents never left them. They were there all along, but we couldn't see them. Mankind awoke to thousands of wows. They discovered these truths were always there, but they didn't have the eyes to see. What an incredible day when they woke up from their slumber. Every day, it was like Christmas. Brand new presents were under the tree of life. What can I discover today? What can I create today? You see, life is not boring, but we can be boring. It's a state of mind. Mankind completely changed his thinking. He became a creative force in the universe. He was in tune with the universe. He was in sync with the universe. He was the universe. Wow. Can you imagine that? Well, when mankind did this, the entire universe celebrated. They have waited for this moment for eternity. There's grand parties all throughout the universe. Did you know the planet Earth reached its goals? Well, of course they knew. They were the universe. Yet an incredible event occurred. It was like winning the Super Bowl of life. There were billions of beings helping and assisting mankind on this journey of life. And they did it. They didn't blow themselves up. Wow, what a game of life. They solved the grand puzzle of life. No words can describe the joy in the universe. You see, the entire universe is alive. We just see empty space in the sky, yet the entire universe is conscious and aware. Mankind finally reached the highest levels of the civilization. They pulled out all negative weeds and discovered the universe inside. You could say the universe was proud, just like a mother or father would be proud when you did something incredible. That's my boy, that's my girl. You see, the universe coaches us in life. It is always there on the sidelines. You are never alone. You may think so, but you're not. Imagine the surprise to you and the universe when you wake up. Wow, what a grand celebration. Your coach is ecstatic. See? You see what an incredible game she played? The entire universe roars. Ripples of joy reverberate throughout the universe. It is felt all over the universe. It is a crowning moment in time. Imagine the joy when Buddha enlightened. Wow, the celebrations are still going on. It's like when Roger Bannister ran under the 4-minute mile. People said it couldn't be done. Well, he did it. Soon afterwards, even some high schoolers could do it. Buddha showed it could be done. Now slowly, people are waking up from their slumber. Christ was another great example. He showed humanity the way. The kingdom of heaven lies within. What could be more incredible than that? This is the incredible journey of life. Where will humanity go from here? You will see in the next chapter. 10 million years from now. Wow, a lot has happened since 2012. That was a turning point in human history. As we saw in the last chapter, all of humanity lived in peace and harmony. They discovered the jewel in life. They were one with the universe. After a period of time, give or take 1 million years, they were presented with a new mission. They didn't have to accept this mission. Remember, they have free will. The mission was to help jumpstart another planet along its journey in life. There was a new planet that was a new kid on the block. They had the building blocks to support life. Humankind was asked if they wanted to help and assist along the way. Just like the planet Earth got assistance from the stars, this planet had the same opportunity to assist. This planet was around for over 1 billion years or more, so the foundation was already set up. Help and assistance was already there. But here's the kicker. They wanted the humans to help and assist future humans on this planet. They wanted to have their DNA for these new humans. I think you get the picture. Inside of these new humans lie their parents and the secrets of the universe. Imagine this world going through the same struggles we did. The same darkness had to be overcome. War, poverty, and greed would have to be overcome. The same craziness. You even had the same kind of old masters coming down to try to help humanity. The rules were simple. They had free will. They would decide ultimately whether they blew themselves up or find the puzzle within. I don't mean to be dramatic, but that's the truth. You might say, how is this possible? How could humans on Earth help someone this way? Well, when you are the sun, moon, and stars, you can be anywhere. You can lie inside the DNA of man. Isn't that incredible? The hide-and-seek game goes on forever. We can partake in this game and help another world in discovering themselves. Yes, it takes time. We have all the time in the world. Remember, you are eternal. Remember, the signposts are all around. How would you like to help set up the signposts in this brand new world? The signposts can only be seen by the pure in heart. Great teachers and nobodies will come upon the land, helping man to discover this true nature. As you know, the planet Earth had a great journey they walked through. Many people thought back then that Earth didn't have a chance. Well, think again. Against all obstacles, man overcome these obstacles and found the puzzles. Humans are very kind and compassionate. They love the idea to help transform another world. So with the same care they received from their parents, they had the same care for their children. They had unlimited love and compassion for this planet. They didn't judge. Remember, God and the universe do not judge. But they gave small and helpful hints along the way. They provided guidance, much like a coach. They couldn't play the game for you, but they could give incredible advice. Slowly, the journey of life continued. 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. Man learns in every step he takes. They had the same battles of life we did. Nobody gets a free ride. Yes, there were moments when nobody knew if they were going to survive or not. But slowly, man was waking up one by one. This took a good 1 million years. It was quite the Greek Odyssey. Homer, he would have been proud. This was quite the journey. It lasted over 1 million years. They didn't blow themselves up. As a matter of fact, they became one with the universe. They solved the puzzle of life with a little help from our friends. Wink, wink. You and I were there as proud parents. The entire universe gave standing ovation. You see, eventually all children leave the chicken coop and fly into the sky. In this case, the stars. You see, another journey, another world needs our help. We would never have it any other way. We are the universe, and we know it. We are all united by the thread of love.